Xander.
Xander's dead. I don't know what you're talking about.
Launching probe.
He got attacked by those Indians when he was building that pipeline.
Damn rough.
I know, right? You gotta do what you gotta
Probe
do.
away.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Pierce. I'll talk to you when you get back then.
Yeah.
Anything
Probe
new and
launched.
exciting for you there, TC?
Nope, other than I'm just streaming Mass Effect.
Probe away.
Yeah, if I sent you a follow. I just was trying to also join the Discord as well, but it was being stupid, and I thought it was something else, so I just connected to a different point in my house, and it seemed to work.
Oh, did you get your house rewired or no?
No.
Are you still waiting on it, or?
Well,
away.
basically, I got a better internal Wi-Fi thing for my computer, and that's helped a lot.
Probe
And
launched.
when I took out the extender I was using to
Probe
connect
away.
my computer because I didn't have a built-in Wi-Fi card,
Yeah.
I put that on the living room, and that's what I've used to boost the signal. So that's helped out like a lot more.
Probe away.
So
Maybe it's time to plug it in.
It's all the way in the basement, and the people who used to live here are old people, so
Launching probe.
100-foot cord?
They have one phone line in the very, very bottom floor in the basement.
Drill a hole?
It's
Lots
on the
of
opposite side of the house.
what kind of Ethernet cables you got, dude? They were like what, Cat 3?
No, like I said, I was telling TC, like the people who used to live here, like were old people. They have one phone line in the basement. That's it. Like there's
Yeah,
no
but you're
phone
getting like
jacks or
10
anything.
megabits a second.
Well, that's just
So yours-
because 2 floors up from where the router is.
Yeah, okay. I
And
thought you had like some old like Cat cable.
yeah, like our normal signal that we pay for is 50 megabytes per second, and because I used to be hooked in directly to the modem, it was fine. But now that I'm running on Wi-Fi and we had no way of extending it, it was pretty terrible.
Wait, so you bought the Wi-Fi extenders with the Ethernet cord or no?
Well, I had one of the Wi-Fi extenders, but like I said, I had that on the second floor, and I still had another floor in between, so it was causing a lot of issues. But now I put that extender on the main floor, and I bought the internal Wi-Fi card for my PC.
I was gonna say, like, if you buy one of those Wi-Fi extenders, normally they have a in and out for Ethernet cord, so you can keep on connecting them around the place.
Yeah. Well, I had one of those, and then we connected an actual router to that thing, so that it has a much better signal. Because the router that our company provides is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
It's really old. But we're upgrading our service anyways, and we're going to be getting 5 here, so it's like fiber optic, and we're going to upgrade that, so it'll be a lot nicer.
And that's when you rewire the whole house, and you're like Allah Akbar.
Yeah. That'll be much nicer. But that's Friday.
I have detected.
At least for now, I can get on. I can play, and I have like.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him like over a month.
Who?
Yeah. It's been pretty rough. That's why I just kind of it got frustrating, so I just didn't go online most of the time. I just go on checking stuff like my emails, but as far as like Discord, it was like every time I tried to connect, it would be like red bars.
Yeah, it's a rough month for you.
Yeah, so I've just been playing single player things. That's why I was playing Zelda for so long too. Like I played it pretty much all week long, just like sometimes like 5 to 10 hours.
Understandable. You beat it, didn't you?
Yeah. There is a better ending, but that's what I want to play the game again for.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only thing that's, and I don't want to spoil this for Pierce, is that like the second last boss battle before you move on to the last one is a lot cooler and more challenging. The last boss battle, I'm like, what? Yeah, I didn't get hit once,
Launching
and
probe.
the boss is really slow and dumb. So you're just like, this can't be it, right? And then the credits roll, and you're like, what?
Oh.
But it was a really cool fight against Ganon, and overall the whole experience is pretty nice. It's kind of nice, like almost the entire game is optional. Like you don't have to get the Master Sword, you don't have to fight any of the bosses. You can just walk straight up to Ganon's castle if you're brave enough and try to fight everything all up just from the start of the game.
Really?
Yeah,
It's a very interesting way to play the game.
it's ridiculously hard though because basically then you have to
You
go
get
through a
like
gauntlet of bosses.
It is likely that searching the
uh,
wreckage would provide
Because
information about the
there's
Estevanico's final
basically
hours.
4
Warning.
main
Disturbing
bosses
the wreck could cause it to become
throughout the
unbalanced
game,
and fall over the cliff's
and
edge.
if you don't kill them, you have to fight all of them. I think
Am I
before you fight Ganon.
am I glitched? Oh no.
Because out of curiosity, I only fought 3 of them. I'm like, I wonder if I can go to Ganon's castle because it has this big like protective barrier around it. You just walk up to it and it disappears, and you're like, oh okay. So I just went in, tried to do like as much as I could on that one save before I reloaded. But yeah, you have to fight like the bosses you haven't killed up to that point, and then you have to fight Ganon. And if you haven't, basically, if you die, it'll start you from the beginning of a gauntlet again.
Oh. Uh,
would
I,
you recommend it though?
Hmm?
Would you recommend it though? Like, is it really good?
Zelda definitely. I would say like if you don't have the money to buy a Switch, don't worry about it. Just buy it for Wii U. It's essentially the same experience. I've heard it has frame rate issues on both, but at least you're getting it on a more
Aren't
stable
the
console
specs
on the
like
Wii U.
pretty much the same?
Yeah, I heard that it's like a slight resolution change,
It is likely that
but
searching the
nothing
wreckage
special.
would provide information about the
And
Estevanico's final
like
hours.
overall, you have better control
Disturbing the wreck
options, I
could
think,
cause it to become
on the Wii U
unbalanced
because
and
you
fall
have
over the cliff's
more
edge.
options besides just like the Pro controller that you have to spend another $80 on. I don't know. I've also heard that the controllers and stuff for the Switch can be kind of awkward.
I'll probably get it when I get a Switch. I don't have a Wii U and I don't want to buy one.
you could
Yeah,
try the
no point in
emulated
buying a
version.
dying console unless you got it for like dirt cheap.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
By the way, no, you can't even buy a Wii U anymore. I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm like
I
GG
think
or
didn't
something.
they just like stop manufacturing them?
But yeah.
Yeah,
They still sell them though.
Where the
I
hell?
actually had a double trading credit here yesterday, and I traded some of that stuff in. I was actually trying to switch, look some of my games over to trade in towards the Wii S Nintendo Switch. But then I'm like looking at the reviews. I'm like, there's only one game on this console that I want to play, and I have it already on another console. So why am I going to waste my money right now?
Oh, did you own it?
Not the Switch. I just bought the Wii U. Well,
Okay.
I have had a Wii U for a while, but I haven't really touched it lately, and so like I said, since I haven't had stable internet, I've just been playing stuff on there, and most surprisingly more on my Wii U than my other consoles. I beat a Castlevania game, and I beat that, and I forget what else. I've been playing like random games I have on my virtual console. So
Hmm.
it's kind of, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like the best of like, I guess like everything. It's very different. My friend was coming over just because he's a big fan of the series, and we kind of tag team certain parts of it. I'd send him off the controller sometimes when I want to take a break.
Half the time.
No, he actually didn't. He wanted more to just like watch what I was doing, so it wasn't too often. It was more at the beginning. It's kind of a weird mix though, because it has like familiar mythology, but the game itself plays very differently. The fact that there's like uh, so much freedom and the game isn't afraid to like punish you is actually pretty refreshing.
So you're saying it's good that they brought back like classic RPG ish, or like solo ish.
I thought it was pretty cool that they finally call Link Link for once. Because usually it's like you name your hero.
Oh, this time you
Yeah.
didn't?
Yeah. Because in this one, there's like voice dialogue by a bunch of the NPCs, like the main NPCs, and they actually call you Link. They don't call you the hero or the legendary hero of time or whatever.
Oh, okay.
They literally just call you Link.
Kind of cool if they like recorded a bunch of names. If
Yeah.
we said it too, we would say it.
You know what they also call us? Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you are on the fence about it at all, Pierce, it's a really good game, and I really want to go back and finish it because there's like so much extra side quest stuff to do. Like I didn't even tackle all of them, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of them I have left to do. It's just the one thing that sucks is like there's no in-game uh way of like checking exactly what you have left besides counting everything physically on your map, which is a pain. So if it's like, oh yeah, you have 150 shrines or something to look for, but you have to actually look at them all and keep a count of them yourself,
Oh,
that
wow.
kind of sucks.
So you're
But it's
basically
just
saying
like minor
can't wait
things.
for the modded version?
Yeah,
Simu version?
but it's a really good game. I hope that they never like backtrack on this and play it safe on the next Zelda game. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make another game for the Switch. We're making a classic Ocarina of Time sort of style. I'll be like, no, just keep it to the same style.
Yeah, I think a lot of RPGs are gonna look at this now as like, oh wait, this worked out really well.
Yeah.
And it's like what the second highest game of all time.
I think any franchise that would backtrack after taking such a huge like change for their franchise, like if Final Fantasy 16 did the same thing, I'd be like, why? If they're like open world and then no open world in the next one, they go back to like a Final Fantasy 13, or from this one they go to like more of a traditional Zelda mechanic, I'd be like, it's not really worth it. You'll make some people happy, but at the same time, you set the bar so much higher. I think with what they did.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Crazy amount of these stupid little tree people you have to find too. They're the ones that increase like your weapon stash and stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's actually more of them than there are the shrines in the game, which I don't even want to think about because they're all hidden behind like random puzzles in the environment.
But don't you always have to give them like seeds to upgrade?
Well, they give you a seed and you have to collect a certain amount of them in order to get stash increased.
Oh,
So like
okay.
you get your weapons, your bows, or your shields.
Probe away.
I think it's really bizarre though that the jump button is the X button. Because
Launching probe.
it's like, why? I was almost expecting it to be set up like the way
Probe
that
away.
Dark Souls is, where like the run button and the jump button are the same thing, or like you map it to the stick or something.
The X is jump.
Yeah, X on the, which would be like Y on like an Xbox 360 controller, is the jump button, and you
Oh,
can
like for
swap
like
it.
Skyrim and stuff. Like they use Y for jump.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to. You can actually swap the X and the B button, but then that also means that your run button switches to the X button.
You can't just like map any control to anything.
No, there's only like one swappable button.
That's dumb.
Yeah. Like I wish you could just hold the run button after a jump or something and then just tap it or something like you do in like Dark Souls to do a jump. Because overall it's easier if you're just already running, you just tap the button and then you just launch yourself forward. It's kind of nice to go back through the game though and